What is going on, guys? Good to have you guys on. Good to have you guys in. All right, just setting everything up today. Today's what's going on, Gary? What's going on, Antonio? What's going on, Brittany? What's going on, I am? Today's a red day. I'll explain here in a moment. Let me just get everything set up here. It's a pretty big red day, but overall, I wasn't too disappointed with the way that I traded today. 427 day 567 minus 125. Okay. I wasn't too disappointed with the way I traded. I'll explain kind of like how I got to this big and why. But give me about 30 seconds so I'll set everything up. I am live going over today's trading day down 125K. Cool. So yeah, I'm down 125K today. And I'm going to explain why here in a second. Large caps, boom, done. Can the man, boom, done. Alright, guys, I'm just getting everything set up. Give me about 20 more seconds. Alright. Give me about 10 more seconds here. What the heck? I thought I posted it. Where did I post the... Oh, there it is. Again, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. Trade at your own risk. Have a plan, a process, and a strategy. Today, obviously, was a rough day, to say the least. You know, I definitely struggled today. But the P&L doesn't really reflect what actually happened. OST. What else today? We had... What else did we have today? STAB, and then what was the other one? ID. Alright, guys. I'm going to go live here on TikTok now. Actually, we'll go to this one. Hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Hopefully you guys have been trading well. Today was a red day, and I'm going to explain why. Basically, you know, JCSE was the overnight, and I lost about 16K on it. Ended up selling it at 402, somewhere like down, I believe, right in here. You know, I thought we were going to get we did get a nice little pop out of the gates. I just thought we were going to get more of a dip and then a rip, but I just saw it kind of trading too slowly out of the gates. It's not what I wanted to see, so I stopped out for it. Starting up the day, 16K down. Then I traded IDAI, ended up making about $3,500 in all the bounces that it gave. STAB was a big winner for me. Started longing, so we had about a 40, what was the average here, sorry. Or open price 47 average. So the average is right where this white line is right here. I started trying to take these dips in here, and I ended up selling up here, I believe, yeah, on the first perk for a $28,000 winner. Then I made another 3K on it, taking another quick trade on it, and then I lost 10K. Teledoc, you know, I really thought this one had a chance, and wish I would have held, but I was too focused on OST, and I didn't want it to affect my train of thought. I thought there was a strong possibility we'd get at least 33s. I didn't think we'd get 34s, but we did. So still a winner on that one, though. And then the big trade of the day, OST. So this one I'm going to go ahead and explain. I mean, this one's down 90% today, guys. To see this thing go down 90% and trade that much volume start at the gauge and then just dump like that, I was absolutely shocked. But not insanely shocked because we've seen it before. And so, you know, here I am down 90% on the day. I like the amount of volume that it's shown coming down. The more volume coming down, the better. And also, I looked at Turks, and Turks, I sent you this guy's in chat here. Where was it? I think where was it? I posted it in chat, I thought. Did I not? Thought I did. Anyways. I had an old screenshot of Turks, and Turks was down about 83%. and it ran from 12 all the way up to 24 the next day. This one's down 90%. The only thing different with Turks is Turks was trading more volume, which the more volume generally traded on a stock down 70, 80, 90%. Usually the bigger and stronger the bounce. When it's a low liquidity stock and it's down 70, 80, 90%, I'm not as thrilled about it as I am. The more liquid it is, the better. So I don't know when the last time I saw a stock down 90% was. It's probably been, it's very, very rare to see a stock down 90%. 80%, sure. Maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. Down 90%, probably once every 5 or 6 months, I'm going to say. I don't even know the last stock that was down 90% though, so I don't know. 90% is a big, big percentage loss in one day. That is just absolutely insane. So I sized up on it, and I have no regret sizing up on it for the most part. I wish it was a little bit more liquid, but I told Jordan this today, and here's the thing: I've been on such a winning streak lately. I got a little bit too aggressive. I had too high of an average. 628 was my average, so right where that white line is there. And this thing tapped 390. So I started taking a little bit of size in here, and then I just kind of basically started adding little bits at a time on the dips. And when it got down 90%, I was just blown away. I was just literally blown away at what had happened. I'm blown away on how far it had actually gone. And so, the amount of size that I took 57,000 shares. And really, at the end of the day, I don't really regret the way that I trade this. The only thing I might end up regretting is not holding this overnight, because it might actually go on me. It might actually gap to 6 or maybe 7 tomorrow. It's already making a little bit of a move after hours. I'd probably only be down like 70 grand right now instead of 120. But I didn't want to take that risk overnight, guys. I don't know. Anything can happen. And obviously I felt like we had more upside than downside. But we didn't really bounce too strong at all today. Really, we were just showing small bounces. And when it did bounce, it was just like, when it did bounce, it was, decently sized. Now we're starting to get a real bounce. We're up about $1 a share from the lows. And it only happened one other time. Right here, it went from 450 up to 560. And we got a little bit of bounce there, and then it just continued to sell off. 90% of the time here, I regret holding this overnight, not holding it overnight. The reality is I do have a position in my inherited IRA. I have 100,000 shares I think the average is like 427. So if this ends up going, at least I have a solid position, and I won't necessarily get FOMO. I had a good size position, 57,000 shares. I believe that's about 200 and, I don't know. Let's do the math here really quick. So 57,000 shares right here times 628. So we had about a $350,000 position on that. So, I don't know. I just didn't love the way that it wasn't necessarily bouncing at all. It tried once, it failed, and then in the close I was expecting somewhat of a bounce, and we got a little bit, but not much, and then it ran to 450s, and I actually sold it right here, unfortunately. Would have saved me about 25, 30 grand if I did, and I would have sold probably up into this pop here. But we'll see tomorrow, guys. Like I said, it's extremely rare to see a stock down 90% intraday. I traded $177 million. I probably would have held this overnight if it was down 90%. Anything over $250 to $300 million traded, I definitely would have held it overnight. It's just a little too light trading-wise. So we'll see. There might not be any sellers left at this point. And if it does gap, at least I'll have a nice position in the inherited IRA. It won't be in the challenge account. So overall, I don't regret taking this trade. Like I said, the winning streak caused my average to be a little bit higher. If I'm on a losing streak, or if I'm a little more disciplined or taking smaller size, I probably have an average. I was telling about 461 to 467, somewhere in there is my average probably, with about 25,000 shares, maybe 30,000 shares, maybe even as much as 50 to 60,000 to be honest. But we'll see. You know, if this thing gaps to 8, it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me. If it gaps under, you know, if it gaps down under 3, that would kind of shock me. But, you know, the reality is anything's possible on the stock. The biggest reason, like I said, I didn't hold it overnight in my day trading. I'm on a hot streak. I had such a big position. If this ends up gapping down to 3, which is the chances are like really, really against that, but still possible. You know, I'd be down 200 grand and basically give back a lot of my month. Right now, I'm still up about $235,000 on the month. Closing out. Let's hope I can close out tomorrow strong, end out the month. But you know, looking back too, I probably would have downsized because I did forget that it was the end of the month. I wanted to close out this month really strong. I was up about $353,000 on the month. Now about 230. So, you know, closed it tomorrow strong. That's okay. We'll go into the next month even stronger. We've had a great month when there's not a whole lot of opportunities. You know, the biggest mistake I probably made today was probably, you know, just getting a little bit too overly aggressive on a stock that sold off and then traded that much volume and then just kind of drizzled, right? Here, there wasn't a huge amount of like up and down swaying. It was just like kind of like, right? So we'll see though. This, like I said, easily it wouldn't shock me if the thing gaps to 6, 7, 8. It wouldn't shock me if it you know stays the same. It would shock me if it does go lower, because 90% is a lot. But overall, guys, I'm still happy about the way that I finished my month. I would take this trade 100 out of 100 times. Anything down 80% plus with a decent amount of liquidity like this, I'll take it 100 out of 100 times. You know, I've made a ton of money on these setups before, and this doesn't change the fact that I'm still convicted on those type setups. This wasn't your typical, like, you know, multi-day, multi-week, parabolic snap down either, but still, you know, showing solid ability to move to the upside here. We had our first perk and our second perk after hours. So, again, we'll see what happens. I shorted Apple a little bit after hours to get my count over 400K. Let's, you know, close out the month strong. And I appreciate you guys for subscribing in NorMagnoTrading.com community. You can go on my TikTok, go to Instagram, and you'll see me live there. You can also check out my YouTube, Cam the Man, YouTube, Cam the Man, YouTube, Cam the Man, YouTube, Cam the Man. Check out my free chat. Links in the description. And then you can see my YouTube on there as well. So, alrighty, guys. I appreciate you guys for subscribing to NorMagnoTrading.com community. Yeah, NutX, it ended up bouncing. So it could. But here's what happened. I mean, but it wasn't just up and then straight down like today. Like, look at the differences, okay? This is up and then multi-day right down. Now we have OST where it's up and then just jam, right? 47 high today all the way down to 390. I mean, just absolutely. And it actually traded quite a bit of volume to start the day up here. You know, we were trading for the first hour or half an hour. No. Yeah. For the first half an hour, we traded on average about 50 to 100K shares at $40 a share. So, I mean, you know, pretty crazy. I don't regret anything except for maybe taking a little bit smaller of a position. But again, I'm on a winning streak, so this is how I'm going to be. I'm going to tighten things up tomorrow. Make sure to close the month strong. And I appreciate you guys for subscribing to NorMagnoTrading.com community. I will see you guys tomorrow. Any questions? I'll answer the first 3 questions, okay? There was no hold in the 4 range, I know. Yeah, that's what made me mistake. Okay. Fast Eddie, are the gaps I see chart from Holtz? Yes, there's a hold here, a hold here, a hold here, a hold here. And that's the thing. We halted once, twice, 3 times, and I'm usually long the 4th time, right? And it just kept going lower, which is absolutely incredible. Evoke, I don't like to go over selective stocks. I just look at this thing, it looks dead. Dang, that thing just, what a short opportunity multi-day. Brittany, you're welcome. What was the stock? The stock was OST. Alrighty, guys. I keep getting all these lawsuits in the mail, like these stock lawsuits where if the stocks go down 80-90%, there's usually a lawsuit that's created, maybe even 60%, 70%. I mean, anything that's extremely volatile, there ends up being a lawsuit, and then you get a letter in the mail, and I just end up throwing most of them away. But I bet you this one will have the same thing, you know. I don't know what causes it to go down 80-90%, but that doesn't look good for, you know, investors, and it doesn't look good for people in the stock, and I'm sure people are going to be pissed and potentially file a lawsuit on this thing because, I mean, that's just not right, getting dumped like that. But I take on full responsibility for my losses. I trade these things every day. I love the volatility. I love the price action. It's what it is. I look forward to opportunities tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what was causing this thing to continue to go. And then people trading it like that much volume right there too. And then it just dumps. One thing I'm watching tomorrow, what was it? It was Tanan. This one, same thing, 13 up to 25. I'm watching this one for a short. We'll see. But someone tried to short it here and it didn't work. And then they tried to short it again and it snapped. It squeezed the shorts out again. So we'll see. We'll see. Nope. This is the way it goes. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys subscribing to Normal Trading.